You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Philip Kaufman, filling in for Julia Wiegand. There are many questions when it comes to receiving the COVID-19 vaccination, and we got answers today at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more.
To date, Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton has administered over 12,000 doses of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines to eligible groups. We spoke with Dr. Jody Lenko, Vice Chair of the Department of Medicine at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, about questions people have concerning the shots.
All three of these vaccines are incredibly effective in preventing coronavirus. We are, in the medical field, we get very excited when anything is above 60% effectiveness. So the fact that some of these vaccines are nearing 90% effectiveness is just fantastic news for us.
Lenko explains why Moderna and Pfizer require 2 doses of the vaccine as opposed to Johnson & Johnson.
Basically the way that it was studied, and it's the way that they always study these vaccines in different formats. Sometimes they'll try it in 1 dose, 2 doses, different strengths at times. And now in this situation, the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna are the same dose, and you just get 2 separate doses of them. It doesn't change the dose depending on the first and second. It's just the way that the virus is, the medication is studied and how it mounts a response in the system.
After the first dose, patients are about 50% protected from the virus. The vaccine becomes over 90% effective about 2 weeks after the second dose is administered. Though every patient is different, some may experience mild symptoms after receiving their second shot.
And then after the second dose, you've probably heard people talk about more severe symptoms. They're really not that bad. It's more like flu-like symptoms. You feel achy, you feel run down. And in some situations, I actually think that that's a good thing. It means that your body is responding to the vaccine. It's not the infection. It is not a sign that you are getting the infection. The vaccine cannot give you coronavirus. It cannot cause an infection. It is just a sign that your body is mounting this immune response.
And what about other side effects?
Common side effect is what we call a site reaction, meaning that there's just a localized a sore arm that you get just from the injection site.
If you are on other medications and have concerns about being vaccinated, it's best to speak with your primary care provider.
The specific ones that we are a little bit more aware of are immunosuppressants, medications that people take to suppress their immune system. The other category of people that we always talk about are people receiving chemotherapy. That's very important to talk to your oncologist or whoever is providing your chemotherapy of any kind that you're receiving to see if you should get the vaccine.
Dr. Lenko has other advice for those preparing to receive their vaccination.
Some things that I tell patients to do when they are getting ready to get their vaccine, make sure you stay hydrated. I ask people to really stay hydrated the day of the vaccine, the couple days before and the day after your vaccine. We ask that people don't take medication like Tylenol or Advil before their vaccine if they can avoid it, but don't take it just because you're getting the vaccine. Afterwards, if you need to, that's certainly an option.
The state is still trying to keep up with supply and demand, and LVHN is administering the vaccines as fast as they are getting them. For more information, you can visit lvhn.org. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Hazleton police were called Wednesday afternoon for a report of an armed robbery near Poplar Street. The victim was allegedly contacted by the suspects through social media, who made an arrangement to buy a pair of sneakers. When the victim arrived, 2 unidentified assailants exited a black Honda under the guise of buying the sneakers. Jonathan and Christopher Ramirez arrived shortly afterwards, and the victim was pistol whipped in the face moments later. The suspects then allegedly removed items from the victim's vehicle and fled the scene. Police identified 3 of the suspects through video surveillance, which resulted in the arrest of Jonathan, Christopher, and a 3rd individual. The Ramirezes were charged with conspiracy to commit robbery, simple assault, and conspiracy to commit access device fraud. Anyone with information on the unidentified suspects are being asked to contact the Hazleton Police Department. A petition was filed this morning seeking an injunction to stop Luzerne County Council from enforcing the vacancy of the district attorney seat. Council declared the vacancy back on March 9th after DA Stephanie Salavantis filed a petition to run for county judge. Attorney Lawrence Moran notified the county's chief solicitor last night about the injunction. This afternoon, both the county and Salavantis came to an agreement. A lawyer from the county and Salavantis' attorney filed a joint memorandum about how the vacancy will be addressed. Salavantis agreed to submit a letter of resignation that will take effect on March 25th, and council is expected to accept it at its next meeting. In the meantime, First Assistant Sam Sanguidolci will become acting district attorney. A teenager was killed and 3 other people had to be taken to the hospital following a Thursday afternoon crash in Schuylkill County. State police say the accident happened around 5:30 near Ann Street in Norwegian Township. A 17-year-old unidentified passenger died at the scene. The driver, who's also 17 years old, was attempting to negotiate a curve in the road when she lost control, struck a guardrail, and flipped over. The driver was taken to Reading Hospital, and 2 other passengers were taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Pottsville. Police say that speed and weather conditions were to blame for that fatal accident in Schuylkill County. A federal lawsuit was filed against Schuylkill County Commissioner George Halkovich Jr. 4 unidentified county employees filed the suit, claiming Halkovich engaged in unwelcomed and unwanted sexual and demeaning comments since he took office back in 2012. An internal investigation was conducted by the county where the claims from the women were found to be credible. The state attorney general's office decided not to file charges back in February. The women also named County Administrator Gary Bender, Assistant County Solicitor Glenn Roth, and both the former and current HR directors as defendants in the suit. The 4 plaintiffs are asking for punitive damages, attorney fees, and back pay. State police at Hazleton arrested a man after he allegedly kidnapped an 18-month-old girl and assaulted the mother in New York. 33-year-old Jeremy Flowers of Austell, Georgia, was captured after 2 troopers spotted his vehicle on Interstate 81 near West Hazleton. State police were advised to be on the lookout for a silver 2010 Nissan Altima following a New York report that Flowers forced his girlfriend and her child into her car and assaulted the woman. She finally escaped at a gas station calling for help, but Flowers took off with the child in the car. Police in New York traced the woman's cell phone and relayed information to PSP. Flowers will face charges of kidnapping, grand larceny, illegal possession of a weapon, assault, and endangering the welfare of a child. He was arraigned on a fugitive from justice warrant and jailed at Luzerne County Prison without bail. An extradition hearing is scheduled for March 24th. Students of the Crestwood School District will have the chance to go to summer school. According to Superintendent Robert Mahalik, the summer school will aim to help students K through 8, and they're looking into what they can provide for high school grades as well. Principals from all schools are helping to design the summer program, which Mahalik said he'll release more details about in April. School Board President Barry Boone also commended Mahalik, Solicitor Jack Dean, and Athletic Director Dean Ambosi for their leadership during the tense 48 hours before the District 2 Boys Championship game was set to start, where Abington Heights had players previously exposed to COVID-19. According to Boone, the state health department didn't supply guidance. However, on game day, Heights pulled out and Crestwood gained the title by walkover. Coming up on WYLN News, opening day is back again for Knoebels Amusement Park. Plus, details on a new playground project in Wilkes-Barre. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328. to Italian Guy's Pizzeria. 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783.
The COVID-19 vaccine is here, and we have a lot of questions, especially about how the vaccine was developed. So let's ask the experts.
It typically takes 10 plus years to develop a vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccines, less than a year. How'd that happen?
It's a huge and historic feat, requiring global cooperation in a way we've never seen before.
It's important to understand essential steps weren't skipped.
Parts of the process were just done simultaneously.
By moving so quickly, did this compromise the vaccine's effectiveness? Is the vaccine safe?
Rest assured, the vaccine is safe. I've received it, and so have many of my colleagues.
It's the best way to protect yourself
and others from COVID-19.
Let's get rid of this virus and get back to normal life, once and for all.
To beat COVID, we all have to do our part. Visit PoconoMountains.com/COVID-19. It's safe, so sign up. Get in the queue.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Knoebels Amusement Park announced that its season debut is set for April 24th. Knoebels is excited to operate an entire season this year after missing out on more than 40 days of operation last year. Similar guidance will be in place like last season, including the requirement of face coverings for anyone over the age of 2 unless dining. The park also added a drive-through job fair recently, scheduled for April 10th in their main parking lot from 1 to 5 p.m. Potential employees will drive up, meet the managers, fill out an application, and can get hired on the spot. A moment of realization at Kirby Park in Wilkes-Barre led to a new project that'll make playgrounds more accessible to all kids. Mayor George Brown and others in the city came together to start the Wilkes-Barre Special Needs Playground Project. The mayor said it'll take a lot of work, but it's a project that's important to him, as well as many other members of the project committee who have special needs children. The project set up a Facebook page to provide updates and a GoFundMe to help raise money. Amazon Prime Video obtained the exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football starting in 2022. The NFL will nearly double its media revenue to more than $10 billion this season with all the new rights agreements announced Thursday. Amazon has partnered with the league to stream Thursday night games since 2017, but will take over the entire package from Fox, which has not had it since 2018, after CBS and NBC shared the package for 2 seasons. Games on Amazon will also be carried on over-the-air broadcast stations in the cities of the participating teams, which is also the case with games aired on ESPN and NFL networks. With the hefty new contracts, the 32 NFL teams and their players can look forward to increased salary caps through the decade. If you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like a present. So check out the SPCA of Luzerne County for all breeds, shapes, and sizes of pets. The shelter has some more furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone, meet Aries. She's a 1-year-old female shepherd mix. She's a super cool pup that has recently been surrendered to the shelter. She loves people and has plenty of energy. She was also previously living with other dogs and cats and got along with them just fine. And up next is Turner. This little baby girl is just adorable, not to mention fun and cuddly. Her sister was recently adopted, and now Turner's waiting for her turn to find her perfect home. So call 570-825-4111 and come on down to check out these featured pets and more while the shelter continues adopting out new best friends amid the pandemic. Coming up on Nanacoke's News Choice, your week in review courtesy of our Julia Wiegand, plus the conclusive question to this week's Leading the Way with Tara Toohill. Stay with us.
Hey, Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday. So today we're talking about ribs and how important they are for breathing, what it feels like when they're out, how to get them back. So if you're breathing from your chest, your ribs will get out of place eventually. So it's just a matter of time. People should be breathing from their stomach. Their chest can inflate after the stomach, that's fine. The ribs, the way they move, it's supposed to be a bucket handle and a pump action. So what that means is if you breathe from the chest first, you're kind of doing the wrong action first for the rib, and it'll throw it out of line. And if it gets pinched up or caught on something, it'll pinch and it'll hurt a lot. If it doesn't, it still doesn't move right now, and you might feel like you're not getting a full breath. I have so many patients come and see me who they're panicking because they can't get a full breath, and they get all this anxiety meds and all this stuff, and then I move their ribs, and now they can breathe again and they don't need the drugs. So please breathe from your stomach, keep those ribs healthy, see a chiropractor if they fall out, and feel good.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton. If you were ever thinking about trading your car, bring it in now. Trades are at an all-time high. Bring your late model in, you'll get a couple grand more than you did a couple months ago. If you're looking for a car, we've got a huge selection of GMC, Buick, Chevrolets. We've got Nissans. We've got a whole bunch of vehicles. We even have Chad Thomas. We even have Chad Thomases. So if you're looking to buy a Chad Thomas, a Buick, a Chevy, a Cadillac, come see us at Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton and see where we take the deals the other guys won't.
Tune in every Sunday night on Wyln from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on Wyln. I'll see you in the ring.
Monday. Targeted restrictions on gathering limits, restaurants, and other businesses will soon be lifted. Effective April 4th, restaurants may resume bar service. Alcohol service will be allowed without the purchase of food. The curfew for removing alcoholic drinks from tables will be lifted, and indoor dining capacity will be raised to 75% for self-certified restaurants and those that undergo the self-certification process. However, you'll still have to wear a mask and practice social distancing. Capacity for other businesses will also increase, as gyms and entertainment facilities will jump to 75% occupancy. Governor Tom Wolf also announced Monday the revised maximum occupancy limits for indoor events to allow for 25% and 50% for outdoor events. Tuesday. A Carbon County fire claimed the life of one man and sent 4 others to the hospital. The fire started at 332 West Birch Street in Lansford shortly before 5 p.m. Monday. Neighbors and passerbys jumped in to help the mother, Kirsten Honey, and her 3 children escape the inferno. The father, Jonathan Honey, escaped from the structure, but went back in to help rescue his family still trapped inside, and was ultimately killed. Kirsten suffered 2 broken hips and a broken vertebrae after jumping from a window with her 1-month-old baby Jonathan in her arms, who suffered a bone separation in his neck. Police said 6-year-old Jeremiah jumped from the highest point of the house without breaking any bones, but was on a ventilator. Jackson Honey, who's under 5, had 2nd-degree burns. All were taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital Cedar Crest for treatment, and the 3 kids were in the ICU. The home where the fire broke out was completely destroyed, and 2 neighboring homes were also damaged. Firefighters believe the fire started on the 1st floor, but the cause remains under investigation. Wednesday. A Pennsylvania woman was charged by the FBI for taking part in the insurrection at the nation's Capitol building back on January 6th. 30-year-old Annie Howell of Sawyersville was charged with disorderly or disruptive conduct, trespassing and violent entry, and obstruction of Congress. The FBI obtained a video of Howell inside of a Capitol conference room and later got a search warrant for her Facebook account, where she allegedly used her posts to incite the crowd in order to storm the building. She was indicted by a federal grand jury and released on bail. She's scheduled to appear via video in U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia in D.C. next Wednesday. Thursday. A potential Hazleton City Council candidate most likely dropped out of the running. This came after John Nilles, who also filed a nominating petition for council, claimed that Bob Yavak didn't file a required financial interest statement with his petition. Yavak said when he brought his petition to the Election Bureau office, he paid his fee, but left his financial interest statement at home. Nilles also questioned the petition of Vianney Castro. He alleges that Castro lives in Hazel Township, not in the city of Hazleton. Both Castro and Yavak can challenge the claims made by Nilles. Hearings are scheduled for next Monday in the Court of Common Pleas. Friday. Hazleton police were called Wednesday afternoon for a report of an armed robbery near Poplar Street. The victim was allegedly contacted by the suspects through social media, who made an arrangement to buy a pair of sneakers. When the victim arrived, 2 unidentified assailants exited a black Honda under the guise of buying the sneakers. Jonathan and Christopher Ramirez arrived shortly afterwards, and the victim was pistol whipped in the face moments later. The suspects then allegedly removed items from the victim's vehicle and fled the scene. Police identified 3 of the suspects through video surveillance, which resulted in the arrest of Jonathan, Christopher, and a 3rd individual. The Ramirezes were charged with conspiracy to commit robbery, simple assault, and conspiracy to commit access device fraud. Anyone with information on the unidentified suspects are being asked to contact the Hazleton Police Department. That's it for your week in review, here on Wyln News.
Life is different, but it hasn't stopped. So when curiosity turns into a rash, an LVHN video visit is just a click away. No matter what you need, whether it's a phone call with a primary care provider or a specialist, or you just need advice on your health, we have a virtual care option that's right for you. And the best part? You'll always be seen by a Lehigh Valley Health Network provider. Visit lvhn.org/virtual to learn more.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Moore & Associates, accountants and advisors located at 751 North Church Street in Hazleton. Contact them for all your individual and business tax and accounting needs. SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, we'll be sitting down with State Representative Tara Toohill, who's leading the way as we wrap up this week's series. And welcome back, folks, to Leading the Way. We are joined by State Representative Tara Toohill. So now, looking towards the future, what are the goals ahead? What are the accomplishments we're looking forward from Tara coming up?
Okay, so my biggest item right now is the vaccines and equity in vaccines. We have a lot of seniors that are calling because they haven't gotten their vaccine yet. So we're actually helping schedule those appointments. And I have been working in a bipartisan way to try to get more vaccines to our area. So I've requested multiple times from the Department of Health to get vaccines so that we could do mass vaccinations of our teachers and also our seniors. Our industrial workers were actually the hardest hit last year at this time, and many of them are still, by the thousands, still not vaccinated. So that's a huge health risk there. And a lot of them are in food production, as we know. So they've had to go to work and couldn't stop working, and we want to make sure that we protect them also. So vaccines are a huge item. And then, as many know, I am on the ballot as of yesterday running for county judge, and I'm an attorney. I love the law. Obviously, I've written laws. I'm very involved. And during the pandemic, especially with what families have gone through, there's been a lot of suffering with being out of school, out of work, depression, domestic violence. And there is an opportunity right now for me to run for county judge. And that will allow me to work one-on-one with families all day long, dealing with drug and alcohol, mental health, and child welfare, which everyone that knows me knows that that's my big item, is child protection. And so I've put my name on the ballot, and that's where we're going, but I'm still able to do that in tandem with working for the people of the 116th as their state representative right now.
All right. Folks, thank you for joining us, and an even bigger thank you to State Representative Tara Toohill for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And enjoy your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Best of luck, best of life. Good night. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or at WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. Look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.